Hello YouTube. As I already mentioned last video, I am selling my sneakers. So I'm just gonna go right into it. One of the teasers of last video, the absolute icons in the techwear scene, the Acronym Prestos. So if you have been following this channel or if you know anything about the techwear aesthetic, then you absolutely have seen these. One of the most iconic pieces in the whole techwear arsenal. Beware, there are many fakes out there. I also bought these used. I did not get them when they were released because that was just before I started this. They released in 2018, is that correct? I'll put it on the screen. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, especially this colorway, the olive colorway is probably the most wanted one. I mean, it was definitely the one I wanted most. And when I got them, I was super happy and I wore them quite a bit. And they are very comfortable and of course super cool. With the zip function here, you have of course two zippers on the sides. And then on the back, you have this device to do both zippers up at the same time and then fasten it with a button, which is super, super cool. So how do I know these are not fake? Well, one of the best ways to determine the realness of these shoes is by looking at this pattern here on the top. Most or maybe even all the fakes have a square pattern on here and the originals have a diamond shape. So that's one thing to definitely tell the difference. Then there's some stuff like how these things look, but that you would have to hold them side to side. But this is not a legit check video, so if you want to legit check them, just do your homework. I'm obviously not selling fake shoes here. And if you don't believe me, well then, yeah, then I guess that's your problem. I think my name in the community should be well enough by now to trust that I'm not trying to sell you fake stuff here. So yeah, these are for sale. Again, as with the last video, I will put the prices in the description below. The condition of these is very decent. I mean, I did wear them. Someone wore them before me, so they have definitely been worn. But as you can see, they look quite nice. There are a few flaws to consider. I mean, if we look at the bottoms look quite decent. The flaws are here at the toes. There is a hole starting over here that you might want to maybe glue or fix in some way so that it doesn't get worse. And here it sits okay, and then the same thing goes for here. I actually already had this fixed once by a professional shoemaker. So you see that this one has held up quite well. This has opened again. There are a few places where wear occurs on all Prestos. You can see that the cage here rubs against this mesh and causes holes. You have that on this side too. What you could do, what I've seen a few people do, is put a Gore-Tex round patch on there to prevent it from damaging further. I actually was planning on to do that myself, but I didn't. Also here you can see some damage, but all the damage is very little, if you ask me. You can also see some damage on here. If you really want, you can ask me to take some pictures for you up close, but I mean, it's a worn shoe, you know? I mean, they are worn shoes, but as you can see, they look quite decent for worn shoes. Definitely better than some of the completely cooked ones people are still trying to sell for ridiculous prices. So if you always wanted these, you can pick them up. I'm gonna ask a very decent price. So last time with the t-shirts, it went really fast. People started sending me messages on Instagram as well as on Discord, which is kind of confusing. So this time I would really like to ask you to just send me messages on Instagram. That's just going to be the fastest way, and I'll reply as fast as I can, because the shirts almost all sold within an hour. So I do also predict that probably these shoes will go pretty fast. So if you're watching this video right now and if you want to have these shoes, I would send me a message ASAP. I am always open to offers, so if you want to lowball me, go right ahead. But yeah, these are quite popular shoes, so I do expect them to go quite fast, and probably if you try to lowball me for these, you will be wasting time and they will probably go to someone else. Anyway, next up, the Lava Prestos. Same shoe, obviously. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that they are size small. These do not come in regular sizes. Like in regular shoe sizes, they come in like extra small, small, medium, etc. And small is about a US 9, US 9.5. So it's a roomy US 9. Let's call it that. Oh, and that's also a very clear sign because the fakes usually come in regular sizes. So if you ever see one of these in a number size, then it is 100% fake. But so these are small, which, as I said, translates to about a US size 9, 9.5. I am a US size 9, so these fit me fine. They don't really feel too big, but they're definitely not snug. I mean, I didn't put this on tight because that's not very comfortable. Plus, the tighter you put this, the more like it causes the cage to damage the mesh, of course. But yeah, these Lava ones are great. I actually wore them quite a bit also. These used to get dirty a lot, but they can actually be cleaned quite well. As you can see, they look, I mean, they don't look new, but they definitely look very clean if you ask me for worn shoes in a neon yellow green color. So this spacer mesh, I think this is called, actually cleans really well. If you use Jason Mark, which I always use, it works. I mean, I've never spilled like, I don't know, paint on it or anything, but just like normal mud and stuff from the street, yeah, it cleans up pretty well. As you can see, the back has yellowed a little bit here and there. I mean, this is kind of like the, you know, the icy plastic you also have on Jordans and stuff. So you could probably also get this more icy again if you use the well-known sneaker bleach stuff like Angelus or something. I've never done that with these shoes. As you can see that this foam at some point gets a bit wrinkly, but that is something that you can actually fix by heating it a little bit with like an iron. I mean, I wouldn't put an iron directly on it, probably with a cloth between it, or use a steamer, but that can can get the creases out. I've done that before. Do make sure you don't heat the outsole too much because that can also melt the glue and then this might come loose, so you don't want that. But yeah, these are also in very good condition, I would say, apart from, well, on this one it's actually very, very little wear around the cage. And then obviously this is a thing. Yeah, somebody dropped something burning on here. I already bought them like this. I did not do this, but yeah, that's a thing. Personally, I never really had such a big problem with it because it's almost like behind your laces, but you know, it's a thing to consider when buying these. You cannot fix this or anything. It just looks like this. Here on this, on the right one, the hole of the cage is a bit bigger. Fortunately, these are not damaged at the toes at all, actually. So yeah, these also look really nice, if you ask me. The soles, the outsoles are also still quite good condition. Yeah, get these, get them. So another icon, the Vapromaxes. Yeah, these are, I mean, even though I really love those Prestos, these are probably the sickest sneakers I have ever seen at all. Yeah, to me, these are like the quintessential Acronym Techwear shoes. They just say everything that is Techwear to me. They are very modern looking, super spacey, sci-fi. I mean, the print, which is supposed to be based on a certain camo style that ships used to have in, I think, World War II. So why am I selling them? I hear you think. Well, because I'm just changing style and I just need to have less stuff, you know? I mean, can't just keep everything just because I think it's cool. These are really quite worn. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm selling these. It kind of depends on what you are willing to pay for them. I mean, selling these for scraps just feels like a shame, then I would rather probably just put them on the wall and look at them like art pieces or something. But you know, they're not loose, but they are definitely not as tight as they used to be. They are a size 9, US 9. They will not like fall off your feet, but yeah, you should consider that these are quite worn. You're also going to see it in like the air. There might be some hole somewhere, which can also be fixed, you know, if you want to put some work in it. I saw some videos on YouTube of people filling up the Vapromax air cushions with like silicone, which seems to work. So that's something that you could try out. Whereas especially on like the, you know, the paint that was on here, which you could try to repaint, but I think this is quite a difficult color to find because it's not really white. It's kind of like a very, I mean, it's what's called bone by Nike, but it's like a very, very light gray, somewhere between off-white and light gray. So it will be very difficult to patch it up. So if you want to repaint this, then you'll have to just repaint it as a whole, which you, of course, you could if you want to. This top part, as you can see, is still pretty clean. Also got dirty quite a few times, and also I was able to clean these shoes quite a few times with Jason Mark. Yeah, these are just absolute icons. I'm not gonna put a price down there, but if you really like these, hit me up and throw me a number and I'll see if I think it's worth it to send them to you. All right? And otherwise, I'll just keep them as something cool to look at because they look really super, super cool still. Absolutely. Very, very breathable and nice shoes for summer. All right, moving on to some other absolute iconic Techwear pieces. The Nikelab ACG Flyknit Chukka SFB Gray. These are the very, very first shoes released by Nikelab ACG. As most of you probably know, Nikelab ACG was the revival of the ACG brand by Errolson Hugh in 19 oh man, I'm so old, in 2014. So these are from the fall winter collection 2014-2015. Pretty old shoes, but as you can see, they are actually in very, very nice condition. Shoes that I have wanted for a long time and was able to find a while ago. Quite rare, if you ask me. I had been searching for these for a long time and I only saw them for sale once and then I bought them, and those are these shoes. So yeah, these are really quite rare pieces, and definitely in this condition. I think there's not really anything, I mean, apart from they're a little bit dirty, I don't think there's really any flaws to, I mean, this is, no, it's not really loose. Well, if you look very close, parts are starting to come a little bit loose, but not really. I mean, you can definitely find some small flaws here and there if you want to. I mean, they are actually like 10-year-old shoes. But other than that, just check them out. They look really, really great. Actually, these Flyknit Chukkas are probably the most comfortable Nike shoes I have ever walked in, if I'm being completely honest. So I actually really, really adore these shoes. So I feel quite sad to sell them off, but you know, again, sometimes you just I need to just sell stuff. Yeah, I wore these quite a bit because they're great. They're quite sturdy, so you can do semi-outdoorsy stuff with these, but they are just super light. They really, so on the one hand, they feel like they might be able to take on a bit tougher situations like boots, and especially the outsole is very sturdy, but the upper is Flyknit, so it's super light and breathable. But still, you can also wear them when it's a bit colder. I mean, these in winter, I would say no. I mean, these are like literally open. But this Flyknit is quite dense, so it is breathable still, but yeah, these are definitely fine to wear in winter, actually. I mean, they came from a winter collection, so you would expect them to be, but they are, if you ask me. Well, they came with this Defender DWR by, I think, DuPont or something that would suggest they are water repellent, which they are up to a certain point. I mean, I also sprayed them with some stuff. So I've walked in these in light showers and then it's quite okay. The good thing is that around the toe, it is actually like a waterproof barrier. So if you stand in a puddle, you won't immediately get like wet toes or anything. But if it rains really hard, this is not waterproof. I mean, water will just go inside it. And if you walk for a while in like wet grass or something, which I did once, then you will also definitely get wet feet. So they are by no means waterproof, but they have some water repelling ability, and you could probably enhance that by spraying them with some kind of shoe DWR stuff by the well-known brands. So yeah, these I would definitely recommend to buy because they're just amazing. I would say when it comes to like comfort and wearability and styling versatility, I would say these are probably the best like Errolson Hue design shoes that were released. Yeah. Okay, so one thing that really sucks is that I took the insoles out. Also a size 9, by the way, as you can see. And then I kind of lost them. So I don't know where the insoles are. So I'm really sorry about that. I mean, you can get some other insoles for these for not too much. So it shouldn't be such a big problem. But know that these do not come with insoles. I will promise you that if I find them, and the chances are very decent that I might, because I am going to be moving soon and I will have to go through all my stuff again. If you buy these for me and later this year I will find the insoles, I will definitely just send them to you. All right, so then a season later, the same shoes were released in a different colorway. So these are, again, the Nikelab ACG Flyknit Chukkas SFB in black with red branding. Also very, very cool shoes, if you ask me. And really has that old school ACG vibe. So these were released in spring, summer 2015. These do come with insoles, luckily. Yeah, what can I say about these? They are almost the same as the gray ones. Only difference is that some of the fabrics are a little bit different. You might be able to see here that like where the toe box of the gray ones is like, it's kind of like a thin rubber, I guess. And then the toe box of the black ones is suede. Other than that, I would say the Flyknit looks and feels just about the same. The Nike swoosh here is painted on. The Nike swoosh here is stitched on and is a piece of, I think, leather suede too. So also here, like the heel part of the gray one is like a rubber type of fabric, where it is the suede on the black one. Yeah, the branding is painted on, so obviously, as you can see, it is a little bit worn, but I would say not too bad. Definitely not for 10-year-old shoes, I would say. Hope you can see it well enough in the video here. So these still have the insoles, luckily. These were really hard to find. I actually have not had these for very long, to be honest, so it feels kind of weird already selling them. I actually got these from Japan, from a used market on, I think it was Rakuten or something, or Yahoo, I don't know. I don't remember, but I got them through Baiyi. It was quite a hassle to get these, and these are probably, based on my experience of trying to find these, more rare than the gray ones even, because I had to like get them from the other side of the world. So yeah, very, very cool and unique pieces too. Oh, before I forget, what's quite important with these is that these are missing a few pieces on the right bottom, as you can see. They just fell off, I guess. I actually don't remember if I got them like these or that they fell off while I was wearing them, and these are just still good. At some point I decided I wanted to go and fix this, so I actually got like a cheap ass pair of other Chukkas, Flyknit Chukkas from Vinted, and was planning on to do this like a project, like getting these out and like to replace them, but I haven't got around to doing that, so I didn't. But I have these, so if you buy these, I will also like send you these with them. You can do it if you want to. All right, but also amazing and comfortable and cool looking shoes. Get them. Then on to the last ACG icons I have for sale here, which are the commuters from fall winter 2017 2018. Again, if you have been into techwear for longer than 2 days, you will definitely know and recognize these. I'm not going to go into detail too much about them. Antoine has made a nice video about these, so if you want to know the details of them, please check out his video. But yeah, these are also very sick and very iconic in the techwear realm, if you ask me. I didn't really end up wearing them too much, to be honest, because yeah, I don't know, I have too many shoes, that's why I'm selling them. They're quite comfortable, nice if you have a bit wider feet like me. They are definitely not too snug or anything. They have a very intricate like lacing system, of course. These are quite decently water repellent, to be honest. I mean, I've walked in the rain with these quite a few times, and I have to say, I don't think I ever got wet feet with these. I don't think these are actually like completely waterproof. It's not Gore-Tex or anything, but these are definitely, of all the techwear shoes, especially in the lineup of all the designs by Acronym or Nikelab ACG, I would say these are probably the most weather ready shoes. These definitely can take quite a few drops. Yeah, I would definitely feel confident, or have felt confident in the past wearing these in a decent rainstorm. So that's great. Mind, these are also quite old shoes, so these, even though they don't really have any like cosmetic flaws as in holes or rips or stuff like that, the soles are coming of the outsoles of the left one are coming a little bit loose. As you can see here at the toe, and also here, you can see you will definitely need to put some glue in here to prevent this from like falling off. I mean, nothing's broken. You can just fix it by using glue, but you do need to do that before you start wearing these, because otherwise it's gonna get worse. I'm looking at the right one. This also is starting to come loose a bit here. So glue the outsoles tight again, and then you'll be just ready to go. Oh, now I see here the elastic band on the left one does have some wear on the top here. I don't even know if you can really see it. A little bit of wear on the elastic band. Other than that, I would say really pretty good condition. I mean, I don't think these are as rare as the Flyknit Chukkas, but you're definitely not gonna find these everywhere anymore, and especially not in sample size 9. I think all the shoes that I'm showing you today are size 9, US 9, unless I say differently. But yeah, get these two. All right, so that was the Acronym and Nikelab ACG shoes. We are getting to the next portion of the video, which is Acronym product picture shoes. So at some point, being an obsessive person as I am, I started collecting some of the shoes that are used in the product pictures of Acronym styling. Not all of them, because I don't like all of them, but some of them, the ones that I liked, obviously. And mostly some of the older Acronym pictures, and with older, I mean like pre-2018, I guess. So starting with these are Nike Free 5.0. These were seen in a few videos and also product pictures. You'll probably see them up on the screen. We'll add them in the edit. Very simple but cool looking shoes, in my opinion. I was very hard to find these. I mean, go and try to find these. You will not find these. Also, it's very hard to search for them because there are so many Nike Free 5.0 shoes. So I really put in quite some effort to actually find these shoes. So yeah, even though these are just like old Nike free shoes, know that these are really quite rare. I don't exactly remember what year these are from. I'm gonna try to find it on the internet and put it on the screen. But I think probably 2013, 2014, something like that. These are also a US 9, but I must say they are quite tight. And I mean like, as in, even though these are also like 10-year-old shoes, the Flywire, I think it's called, elastic in it, right, is quite tight. So know that. If you would wear them a lot, that would probably get more loose, but it's quite tight. So I have barely like used these laces. I always put them really loose because the shoe itself already sits very tight on your foot. As you can see, they are quite wide, so they are actually kind of barefoot-like. Also because of the Nike Free outsole, which is very flexible, of course. These are actually really very comfortable shoes and very, yeah, you barely like feel, other than the fact that it really hugs your foot. It feels a bit like quite a tight sock. Yeah, your feet feel very free. I mean, at the front, there's not a lot of room. Oh yeah, I also took out the insoles of these because of the tightness. And I'm afraid to say that I also do not know where the insoles are. So these come without insoles, but I always, because they are so tight, I put very flat insoles in them, like super thin flat ones, because these don't really need insoles in that way. So you could also do that or put other insoles in it. But if you put normal ones in it, then you should probably not wear these if you're a size 9, because with insoles, they do fit a bit small. Then they would probably fit more like an 8.5 or something. So these are size 9, but fit a bit small. Though without insoles, you'll be fine with a size 9. The outsoles. I had also planned to restore the black paint on here, but as you can see, I have not yet. But if you just get like a black sneaker marker and fix that, I think they will actually look really great again. Just imagine the black being fixed with black marker. Will look very like OG Acronym. I think they will especially look really good with the less wide pants, like maybe P10s, or crop pants like P17 or something like that. All right, next up, the Nike Fragment sock darts. So these are a collab of Nike and Fragment design, which you probably know if you know anything about sneakers. Yeah, what can I say about these? These are sock darts. I've had quite a few sock darts in my days, and they're very comfortable and unique looking shoes. Also a bit acquired taste, I guess, because they look kind of weird, to be honest, but I like how weird they look. I think they look cool, but I can imagine that not everyone really likes these. Condition is decent. As you can see, not really any very specific flaws. Well, you can see some wear around certain high wear parts, but around the toe box and stuff like that, there's no holes or rips or anything like that. I do have to say that these did come without insoles. Again, with the insole thing, I know. I'm sorry. I never got them with insoles. I guess there's also other people like me who like to take out insoles and then lose them. But you know, you can just get insoles like basically everywhere. So I don't think it should be too big of a problem. But because of the fact that nowhere on these shoes it says Fragment, except for it did on the insole, you cannot identify them as such, but you'll just have to trust me on the fact that these are just the black Fragment ones, because there is no other Nike sock dart colorway that has the black here and the like gray spangled midsole, as you can see. It's not white, it is gray. And the cage that used to be the icy blue, or well, icy white blue, which has yellowed over time, as you can see, which again can be fixed if you want to take the time and use some sneaker stuff that is made to make icy parts icy again. I think I actually made a video about this a while ago, doing this on Acronym Vapromax. So I'll try to find it and put it in a link here if you want to know about that process. But I actually did it a little bit on these. So they actually used to be even more yellow than they are now. But if you really want to get them icy again, you'll have to put in some work. But yeah, definitely cool shoes. I'm gonna ask too much for these, but check them out. Then here we have another Nike Free 5.0 shoe. It's the Nike Free Orbit 2. Very unique and very kind of weird looking shoes, but really awesome if you ask me. And like super, yeah, just very Acronym. These shoes really fit the Acronym aesthetic very well, in my opinion. I mean, it's actually really weird to me that these were like a normal Nike release, as far as I know, because it really does look like this is some kind of designer collab, even though I don't think it is. If I'm wrong, please do correct me in the comments below. So it has the same outsole, the Nike Free 5.0 outsole as the ones I showed you earlier, but this time a much more sturdy upper, this weird upper with these strange alien-like sci-fi shapes. Yeah, this is actually a really sturdy shoe. This part here in the front is like a hard plastic. This really protects your toe from stuff. And it's actually, if you feel it, it's really quite rough. If you would kick someone with this nose, that would definitely hurt. They have a part that is 3M. You might be able to see that in the video. So that's reflective. There is a zipper on the inside. Which is also nice because otherwise it's actually kind of, you can't really get your foot out. You really need to use the zipper because the upper is quite sturdy. I think this is suede. I'm not sure, but it feels like suede, but it might not be. It's probably not leather. It's probably vegan suede or something like that. Yeah, very, very unique shoes. As you can see, will also look very good with the a bit older Acronym type pieces that are like P10s and 17s, as I said before. I will try to also show the product pictures that inspired me to get these. I think these are actually also quite rare. Also took me a while to find these. Also, I did not wear these very much, I think, because again, I have way too many shoes. So please buy them and look awesome for me. And for you. Look awesome for yourself. You know, yeah. These also do not come with insoles and fit wise, I would say they fit quite well without insoles for a size 9, I would say, but I would say they are on the snug side. So if you are a size 9.5, I would definitely not go over these. And if you are a size 8.5, you could probably fit these fairly well too, especially if you put insoles in them. If you are size 9 and you put insoles in these that are thick, I would think they might get a bit snug. But if you are size 9 and you want to put some kind of insole in it, just put very, very thin ones in it. All right. Up next, the Nike Free Hyperfeel. Very, very special shoes, if you ask me. Very unique look. These do have insoles. I will tell you a little bit about them later because there are very special insoles. These are not the original laces. They actually came with white laces that I unfortunately have misplaced again. Sorry for being so chaotic. I know I have them somewhere. I'm going to try to find them. If you are interested in these, please let me know and I'm gonna try to ASAP find these original laces for you. But as I am making this video, I do not know where they are. I have actually worn these quite little. As you can see, these are actually in, well, not new condition, but like they are very, very little worn. The upper is still very tight. All the like painted parts still look great. As you can see, yeah, these are almost like new. These are really have been worn very little. They fit quite tight, and because of that, I also had these in a size 9 because these are actually a size 9.5, but definitely fit more like a size 9 or even less, because even these size 9.5s are quite tight on my foot. So know that. They're nice and snug, and that's why you don't actually really need laces. But the laces I put in here are like elastic laces that are put in very loose because they are really just for show, to be honest. I put in black laces because in the product pictures of Acronym, they also wore it with black laces, and I thought that looked nicer actually than the white laces. But the original shoe came with white laces. So what's special about these shoes is actually that the outsole is like super thin. So of all these shoes, these are the most like barefoot-like shoes. So there's only like an outsole, but there is actually no midsole. So the midsole is part of the insole. I'm gonna show you. So there is a lunar lawn insole, as you can see, which is really nice and squishy and very flexible. That is also the midsole. So if you take that out, you just have a shoe with only an outsole, which is super thin. So if you wear these without insole, you will have like a barefoot shoe with like just only a few millimeters of outsole and no midsole at all. So that's kind of cool, right? So if you are a size 9 or 9.5, you could actually wear this like a barefoot shoe and then you will be fine. But so that's the options you have with these shoes. So next up are the Nike Flyknit racers. One of the maybe most used shoes in the Acronym product pictures. I have two colorways. These are the, I believe, first, like the OG versions from 2012. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that these were also the official shoes for the Olympics of that year. It is the Volt Black and Sequoia colorway, because if you look closely, you see that the inside is actually like an olive color and not black, which is very cool. It's a very, very cool colorway in my opinion, and just a very cool shoe. Wait, oh, I think it's a bit bright. Okay, just make it a little bit darker because white was being overexposed a little bit. As you can see, they are in fairly good condition. I bought these used, but I didn't actually use them that much myself because they're actually a little bit narrow for me. I mean, they fit fairly well. They are again a US 9. As you can see, my toe is here. I mean, it doesn't feel too tight or anything. Also because the Flyknit is just very flexible, which is great. But if you look at the outsole, it's quite a narrow outsole, which means that my feet are quite wide. So it kind of, I don't know if you can see that on the picture, but my feet are wider than the outsole, right? So they kind of bulk over the midsole, if you know what I mean. I mean the upper, like the Flyknit upper with these wires just keep my foot in place, so I don't my foot doesn't fall off the midsole or anything, but I can kind of feel that. I don't feel super balanced on these shoes, if you know what I mean. If I walk in these shoes, I kind of have to pay attention a little bit, because I mean, I don't think I will break my ankle or anything, and I never experienced anything like this, like misstepping but walking in these, I kind of feel like I need to be cautious or something. So I've never been super comfortable about walking in these because of that, and not because of the actual comfort, because the actual comfort is really great. I mean, the bounciness of the midsole is great. They are super light because of the Flyknit. The Flyknit feels nice. They are extremely breathable. These are definitely summer shoes. Some of the Flyknit holes are actually quite big. So this is definitely not a shoe to wear when it's raining or cold or windy or stuff like that, because it just feels like you're wearing a sock with a sole, right? But for summer, obviously that is just amazing. These are really amazing summer shoes. I'll show a little bit closer. Like the painted swoosh and everything is actually just looks like new, if you ask me. The only flaws on these shoes are the paint on the midsole, and on this part here is kind of faded in places. But again, that is very simply fixed with a sneaker marker.
So if you get like a black sneaker marker and a Volt sneaker marker, you will be able to patch these shoes up very greatly. Just be sure not to go over this part with black because this is not black. So this part is Sequoia. I mean, it's very dark, but it's definitely like a very dark olive green. Also this part, and also the laces are a very dark olive, which is very cool. The swoosh is, I don't know if you can see it, but the swoosh is like actually black and this is not black.
All right, so then we have the same Flyknit racer, but in the so-called Panda colorway, which is black, white, and with a hint of Volt. Like these wires here are Volt. Probably my favorite colorway. I like these maybe even more than the OG ones. These are from 2014, I think. These actually I wore quite a bit. Somehow, even though I just put them next to each other, or like I measured both shoes together, but the thing I told you about the Volt ones, that they feel a bit narrow. Somehow I feel that less with these ones, which is kind of weird because they really are actually exactly the same. This outsole is not wider than the other one, and it's the same size. So I really can't explain why this one would feel differently, but it does. So yeah, these I really love these shoes. I've worn these quite a bit, but still, these are also still in quite good condition. If you look at the nose, they might seem a little bit more worn than the other one, but not in a way that it has made any holes, I don't think. I don't know if it's the light, but there seems to be like a slight pinkish hue on the swoosh here. That's just the swoosh fading a little bit, I think. The black coming through. But even for these, the painted swooshes are still in quite decent condition. The outsoles are still decent. Yeah, these are also really, really, really great shoes. And both these and the Volt ones just very much complement the Acronym ACG aesthetic, if you ask me. They just look amazing with basically all Acronym or ACG pants, if you ask me. And also, these are just very futuristic looking sneakers, runners, who are comfortable, breathable, great looking, great fitting, and great walking shoes. Yeah, you should definitely get these. Get them both. Get both colorways and pair them up with all your Acronym fits because they will look great. Now moving on to more modern Acronym footwear. These are not actually the exact same 5 fingers you can see in some of the Acronym product pictures. I believe that the ones in the product pictures are just the standard Vibram 5-finger. These are actually a double collab with Suicoke, if that is how you pronounce that, and Takahiro Miyashita, TheSoloist. To be honest, I am not that familiar with TheSoloist, but maybe some of you are. Let me know in comments below what you think about it. But Suicoke is like really cool. I know that is also a Japanese brand that is very much appreciated in this community. And we've also seen quite a few Suicoke sandals in Acronym product pictures. But so these are 5-finger shoes, obviously. I got these a size small because they are, as you can see, low and your heel is barely inside the shoes. I got these a size smaller than usual, I think. Is that true?
Yes.
So normally if I would go for Japanese shoes, I would go for the 27 centimeters because my feet are 27 centimeters long, but this is a 26 centimeter. Okay, read it. This is actually a 26 centimeters, which does translate to USA 9 to 9.5. It says here in this, but also EU 42. So it's all those sizings are always kind of confusing because usually a US 9 translates to 27 centimeters. But in this case, I would say that this one fits me perfectly, even with, like, I'm wearing socks in them now, obviously. but also without socks I can wear these. So I'm glad I went for this size because this is actually the perfect size for my foot, which, as I said, is a 27 centimeter long foot, quite wide, and usually wearing US 9. What can I say about these? These are just very cool looking, very easy to put on and take off Vibram 5 fingers. I wore these quite a little bit last year in the summertime. I did enjoy it. Okay, so to be honest, I got inspired to wear stuff like this because Erlson was wearing them and I thought they looked very cool and kind of futuristic also with the Acronym looks. So I do think this type of footwear works quite well in the Acronym aesthetic. And then mostly the like new Acronym aesthetic, let's say from the P38E on, but it is quite tiring for your feet. So wearing these a whole day for me is still quite a challenge. After a while, I can really feel like the muscles in my feet that they have worked really hard to wear these, because obviously you basically have no sole. So you have to learn to walk in a different way. Like you can't really land on your heel. You have to like land like this. So I can't really, I can't really explain it like this. And this is not a barefoot 5-finger shoe tutorial video, so there are enough of those on YouTube. But yeah, it's an acquired taste. I know many people completely hate these, and probably also quite a few people watching this video right now. Maybe they already. That's why I kept these to the end because I know that a lot of people were probably just end the video right now. Yeah, they're really great and innovative shoes, I think, but just not really for me. I tried them for a while, but they're just not for me. Because if you wanna wear these, you really gotta wear them often, because otherwise your feet are never gonna get used to it. And right now my feet are not used to it, and I decided that I don't really want to make the effort in getting used to it. At least not right now. Maybe in the future, maybe I'll get some other ones, but these ones I would like to sell right now. So the condition is fairly good. I wore them a bit, but not that much. There are no real flaws in them, I think. No actual like damage or anything. Only things that the stickers on the inside are kind of peeling off a little bit because, well, it's stickers. Another nice thing about these is you can throw them in the wash. So you can, especially if you want to wear these barefoot, then it's obviously nice to like wash them. But if you wear socks in them, like these socks I'm wearing right now, but if you wear socks like these in them, merino socks, then you won't have to wash them that much. So yeah, these were quite expensive when they released. So I think you're getting a pretty good deal for me for these, and I don't think these are available anymore. So I think these are kind of exclusive. Then I also got these. These are like mid-height versions of the Vibram 5 fingers. This time a single collab with Suicoke. But as you can see, like the design language is quite similar with the TheSoloist ones. I believe that actually there are also just Suicoke versions of this one, but in different colorways. I think the TheSoloist collab was mainly this colorway. But yeah, these are mid-height, so I bought these to wear in colder weather, which I did, but not really that much, to be honest. These are not waterproof, but they are quite water repellent. I have walked with these in moderate rain and actually did not get wet feet, so that's really nice. I bought these in a size bigger because I wanted to be sure that I could comfortably wear these with socks, and also maybe even thicker socks if the weather would get colder. So these are definitely not too big, and I mean, they close really well, but I definitely have more wiggle room in these, especially at the toe. You can see that my toe definitely has quite some room left to move. So these fit slightly bigger, but not that much bigger that it's uncomfortable or that my foot slides in them or anything. It's just like these are just snug, which is fine, especially if you want to wear them barefoot. And then these are just great for colder weather to wear with socks. They have like a mechanism like this in the back with 3 different tightnesses to close. I use the tightest one. And because these are just all black and like grayish, much easier to style, and these do look a bit more like the shoes worn in the Acronym styling pictures. These are like super versatile. These, you can wear these with anything. So if you want to look a bit different, you want to tease your girlfriend and see how much she loves you and if she will stay with you, you can get these. So then last, but definitely not least, these Merrel mid-wrapped waterproofs, but not just any, the Japan exclusive collab with White Mountaineering. So these are also actual barefoot shoes in the sense that they have a very thin outsole, no midsole, and the heel is not elevated, so the heel is just as low as the front of the foot, which takes a bit of getting used to when you start walking in these, but actually these are really very comfortable. I really loved walking in these. Wore these quite a bit in the past year. Well, like last year, like in winter, because these are actually also really quite warm. They are not Gore-Tex, but they have, I think, some in-house membrane that Merrel makes. But they are waterproof, so you can just walk in full-on showers with these. As long as you also wear like waterproof pants that over it and don't let water get inside here, then your feet are obviously gonna stay dry from the outside, at least. I mean, if you go running and your feet start to sweat, you will still obviously get wet feet because they are waterproof shoes, so they are not the most breathable ones. These are definitely not shoes for summer. But yeah, great outdoorsy Gorp-Cory barefoot boots. They have great traction, I have to say. Really enjoyed these shoes, but yeah, they just don't fit my current style anymore. So it will be hard for me to style these with my new wardrobe, I think, because they're just have a very different look than the more like vintage, heritage, classic look that I'm going for now. So I'm also selling these. As I said, these were Japan exclusive, so they were not available anywhere outside of Japan. So I ordered them from Japan, so they were quite difficult to get. So I think these will be quite rare. Don't think you will be seeing a lot of these anywhere. So keep that in mind. If you get these and if you walk around in these, there are not going to be a lot of people trailing your fit. You gotta like colors, obviously, because there are a lot of colors on this. But I mean, if you are like a Techwear person who just wears black, then it can always help to have like a full black outfit. Will look really nice with a splash of color like this, I think. Yeah, the condition is, I think, great. I don't see any flaws on these. I mean, I did wear them, but as you might know by now, I take quite well care of my stuff, and you can ask anyone who ever bought something from me, and you will probably get this confirmed. If you are watching this and if you did ever buy anything from me and would like to confirm that for me, that would be great. Thanks. So people know that I am a to be trusted seller. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you are still watching, this is probably quite a long video. There were quite a few shoes I had to show. I'm selling off quite a collection. These are all shoes that I loved very much, and I put in a lot of time and effort and work actually to get this collection together. So part of me feels kind of sad to sell it off, but at the same time, I very much enjoyed them and enjoyed not only wearing them, but just collecting them and owning them. But now it's time to move on. And I really hope that some of you have been looking for these shoes for a long time, and I can make you happy by selling them to you. So yeah, let me know. Again, please contact me on Instagram, not on any other channels. Otherwise it will be too difficult and confusing for me to switch between all those platforms. So just try to Instagram me. I'll put the link to my Instagram in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you hadn't already yet. And see you soon.